I don't feel like doing this. Something stuck in my teeth. Ooh, my first time having a salad. Jeans. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. Oh God, I'm sweating. Last week we did t-shirts. This week we're doing week? Was it a week ago? No, it was 2 weeks ago. What's time? Today we're going to be designing jeans. Now, jeans are one of my favorite things to design, to draw, and everything, mainly because it's in denim. Denim is my favorite fabric. I really, really love denim. It's a classic fabric. It works in every wardrobe, I'd like to say, and there's so many different types of denim that you can have so many different finishes, and there's a lot of really cool techniques you can do with denim. There's even different stiffness of denim. Drink every time I say denim. You'll be blitzed halfway through this video. But essentially we're going to be drawing a basic jean, and from that jean we're going to develop a few styles. I'm thinking 2 designs aside from the basic jean, kind of like we did last time. We had something that was relatively basic, maybe some style change, and then the other 2 are evolutions on that basic, so we can really manipulate that basic shape. Ideally we want some bottoms that work well with the t-shirts we're designing. I do personally think these t-shirts lend themselves to some streetwear looks, so I think just a baggy pair of jeans, maybe leaning more towards the relaxed fit, is going to be great. That's another thing you got to think about. What is the fit of these jeans? Are we going to do regular fit? Are we going to do a wider leg, baggy? Are we going to do it fitted, skinny? The decision's up to you. Just remember that while you're designing it, you got to think about the core elements that make a jean a jean. So jean does not refer to denim. Jean refers to the cut of the fabric. You can do a jean out of any material. It's just the thing that makes it a jean are the pieces. So I have a pair of jeans right here. These are my favorite pair. These are Levi's 511. I thought they were 501. And there's certain things that we need to think about in jeans. So there's no pleating, no like style lines happening right here that actually facilitate fit. It's sort of built into the fabric. Usually in pants there is a pleat or a dart or even a princess seam right here that helps facilitate this fit. Here, because of this pocket, it kind of helps us with that fit. It takes a little bit of that pinch out here and actually moves it into the pocket, so that's what causes it to fit well. The other thing is that denim usually has elastane in it. Elastane is an interesting fabric that once it heats up, it actually helps shape to your body. I don't know how correct that is science-wise, but it is definitely something that I've heard. The thing about jeans is there's always going to be that waistband placket. This gets fused with interfacing so that it stays this shape forever. Ideally, this isn't meant to stretch out or move. It does happen because we wear them from time to time. Jeans also almost always have belt loops. Most pants, if not all pants, should have belt loops in my opinion, but jeans always have it. It's part of their iconic fit. And then of course we have the fly. Zippered fly. And it always has this iconic J shape associated with it. So, a few things we got to think about when we're designing a jean and or illustrating it. Jeans fit a purpose. They're not just decoration. They are not just an aesthetic garment. They serve a purpose. All of the pieces on this jean have a purpose. Most jeans are done with a double needle cover stitch. It's this, where's a good place? We'll show it right here. Are done with this double needle cover stitch that's right here. That just means that those seams and those style lines are really, really secured in there, opposed to just the single needle that's up here. But this is also a single needle denim. I forget what it is called, but I do know it has a specific name to it because on the front, it looks like a regular stitch line, but on the inside, it's sort of braided almost like an overlock seam. I forget what it's called, but it essentially makes a very, very secure stitch. And that's very, very important. Something else to note is the pockets all have these rivets on them. These rivets are meant to hold that shape as best possible because in a pocket, you're sticking your hand in there as often. So these rivets help make these parts really, really strong so that while you're consistently reaching in or putting stuff in, they don't get ripped. There's a few stuff that we can play around with jeans, but the common thing is J-shaped pocket, double needle cover stitch, a waistband, belt loops, a fly, and the iconic, can't believe I forgot, the iconic back pockets. These back pockets, specifically at Levi's, have this sort of wing shape on it. A lot of denim brands come up with an iconic stitch pattern to be done on the back pocket of their jeans. Just to sort of helps differentiate yourself in the market. And I know a lot of people like when their pockets have something different happening. So maybe we'll do something in the pocket. I don't know. I don't think I did, but I don't know. We'll see. So now let's talk about the design. So illustrating a basic jean is quite simple. You essentially look at what jeans you have and maybe copy them. And do, of course, a little adjustments. Look at how most mass-produced jeans are done and do your best to emulate that. If you decide to change anything into it, just make sure that the changes you do to the jeans do not interfere with the integral structure, because denim does last a while and good denim lasts even longer. Here in California, we wear a lot of denims. Learning how to design in it and learning what are common treatments in denim is very important. Flat felled seams are the most common. If you don't know, flat felled is the seams are essentially like hugging each other and then there's 2 rows of stitching on top of it. That's sort of where that double needle cover stitch comes in hand. It just helps secure them over and over. Some jeans have 2 different color stitching on them. Some have 1, some are contrast, some are in the same color of the fabric, just so that they blend easier. I think we've talked enough about what a basic jean is supposed to look like. So let's start getting into how we can change it. I think I want to play, the first idea I have is essentially riffing off of the idea we had in the t-shirts, where we were playing with these open spaces. So I wanted to create a jean that had these openings on it. At first I played with one that was asymmetrical. I started sketching some that were a little lower, hated both of them. And then I went with one that was like above the knee at the thigh, and I thought they were cool. I liked the sort of drape of it. If we're able to find a denim that has a good drape to it, I think this design will be extremely successful. Part of me does want a pretty thick denim because I do think thicker baggy denim is really, really in right now, and I think it's a bit of a timeless look. I do wonder how the construction of it would be and how good that shape would last over time. I do wonder if it will get stretched out over time or get warped, so there might need to be some decisions being made that happen along the jeans. Something to think about. Another idea I had is sort of patchworking 2 denims together and making them one homogeneous jean with 2 fabrics on it. I initially, when I started designing, I played around with blues. I personally believe blue is a neutral. I think it goes with a lot of things in anybody's wardrobe. So I wanted to keep blue. But me being me, I had to do something black. So I want to also add in a black gray version of it with my denim choices in the future. And when I start illustrating the tech flat, I will probably figure out texturizing it in the future. Hopefully it'll go the way I want. I don't know. I'll see if I can put both up right here. The illustration around the waistband is a lot more curved. It's a little higher. I think it's a little over the belly button. But then when I did the tech flat, it looks really wide because I put it where more accurately the waistband of jeans is supposed to be. It looks a little wider because it is at a wider part of the body versus the illustration, which was drawn in a more aesthetic way. It is also to be said that the way a garment is drawn is almost rarely going to be what it looks like in real life. People have different shapes and sizes, and in movement is going to be different. So again, until this garment is actually made and mass produced, and test fits of it made and test fits in the final fabric made, that isn't until when we can finally figure out whether these designs are going to work. Because even then, the second design with all the swirly patterns, I can see that being a very, very wasteful garment. Because if all those pieces are cut from their own fabrics, there might be a lot of waste made with that. So I'm wondering if maybe we can find a way to make it mass produced, but in like scraps. So all of this is basically maybe done in scraps, and all these, essentially maybe no 2 jeans look alike. Maybe the pattern changes every time. Maybe they're all patchwork in different ways. You know, just an idea. I also had another idea, but I never ended up illustrating it or executing it because I thought of it this morning. Funny how that works, isn't it? But maybe I'll illustrate it real quick and just sort of get the idea through, but I'm not going to essentially be able to do it in TechFlap because I have all that screen recording done. I am not about to do that all over again. I am so sorry. Maybe I will. I don't know. I love going back on my word. It's funny. It's not fun because I always end up giving myself more work. But we're having fun. At least that's what I'll tell myself. So, I digress. I thought it would be very interesting to take these swirly patterns from the second design and actually have those as cutouts in another jean. If you know, there's a type of fabric named eyelet that is sort of fabric that is woven that has these openings into it. And I thought that'd be an interesting technique on this jean, except of course it's cut out of the jean. I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks the best way to execute it is a laser cutter so that we can get really interesting shapes. I'll probably put up me illustrating that while I'm talking about this and the final one eventually. But I think it'd be a very fascinating idea to have these swirls, sort of amoeba shapes, sort of lava lamp shapes, if you will, cut out in the jeans to sort of help facilitate this idea of open space. Because I do think that if this is going to be a summer collection, I like the idea of these heavier fabric jeans that are roomy and are open, and you know, maybe they're a lighter weight. I don't know. I haven't decided on the fabric. Although I do think I'm going to do a common cotton denim with some elastane in it. Maybe 90% cotton, 10% elastane, just so there's some good stretch, good movability in it, because my least favorite thing are fitted jeans that are not comfortable. Maybe we don't even need that much elastane in these since they are baggy. Again, we'll have to do further research to see what's the best fit, because I'm pretty sure these jeans are cotton elastane. I don't think they say the percentage of it though. I know you're not apparently supposed to wash jeans because the water messes with the elastane in the jeans, making it all wango. Oof! For over 140 years. Cool. Where are they made? Oh, this is Levi made in Mexico. Viva la raza. Wait, where's the fabric? It just says the size. It doesn't tell me the fiber content whatsoever. I think fabric should be required to tell you the fiber content. Am I missing something? I think I'm blind, dude. I'm gonna stop staring at these jeans and move forward, because I think I'm just, oh, here's something interesting. We can actually potentially design something like this to go onto the jeans in the future. I didn't do it, but we could do it. I think it's sort of a staple of Levi's. I think it could be fun, but I'm not doing that right now. Maybe I'll do that later with some like logo design and stuff, but realistically you only do that when you have like a logo, and I don't really have a logo for this collection, nor do I care. Maybe I do it with like some interesting artwork, but I haven't decided, so I'm not going to do that right now. Maybe I'll do it as like a whole finishings video towards the end, because what I'm doing with these pieces as of right now is I'm sort of creating the bare bones designs, and I'm going to figure out how to more integrate them later. Of course, we have this concept of open space, so I really like that idea. I do want to see where we can push it further, of course, with branding of this collection, graphics of this collection. I think it'd be interesting to do maybe a graphic like that on that leather square? I don't know what it's called. Maybe we can find some fun thing to do to sort of tie this up further, whether it be embroidery, whether it be printing, or some form. We already have this open space tying the collection together. We have the open back, open neck, and open chest on the t-shirts to sort of flow with the open sides of the legs of the pants. I'm wondering if maybe we can push a second idea further, but I did want the second jean to be sort of an elevated version of a regular jean, because I do think it will fit better with some of the pieces if it's an exaggerated top. Minimal bottom. I don't think it's very minimal, but I think because it's that blue on blue, it'll mesh really well with other stuff, because I feel it's a neutral on neutral. So we'll see how that goes. I do personally think that having the 3 jeans, a basic jean, I do think we need to elevate this jean further. I think I'm going to do some sort of screen print design on the back of the pocket, or maybe we do it on like the little logo patch, but I haven't decided. Maybe we'll do some like airbrush artwork on the legs of the jean. I haven't decided. So let's look at the 3 jeans, shall we? So the first jean's relatively simple. It's just a basic cut jean. The only unique thing we did is the crossing of the belt loops on the back, but I do think it's enough to sort of elevate it in the tiniest way. I personally think I might add some sort of screen print onto the back pockets just to add some sort of interesting pop of color or something fascinating. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I will decide once I start figuring out graphics and prints for this collection. As of right now, I think they're going to be fine. Maybe we do a printed denim and this denim is what uses that. I don't know. As of right now, we don't need to know. We're still developing the collection. The second pair of jeans is going to be this sort of psychedelic swirl patchwork jean. And it's honestly, it's such a very fun concept. It's visually interesting. I even wonder in the future, potentially doing it in black and white. It's a cow. Cow denim. Brown cow stunning. It's not a brown cow, but you know what I mean. Hello? Hi. I do think it's one of the more visually interesting because we're sort of creating a faux print, which is actually a textile. So prints are, of course, are printed onto garments. Textile are the fabric itself, whether it has texture or anything. And we're sort of creating a visual image here of this sort of psychedelic swirl that's these two sort of jeans marbled together. Our third design, which is personally the one that has the most design, is the open side jeans. I think I'm gonna call them the drop slit jean because I think that's the sort of best way to put it. They're slit open and they're dropping. So we're sort of creating a cowl at the lower leg with these jeans. And I do think it helps tie into some of our t-shirt designs that have these open spaces, whether it be that open back cowl, the slit on the chest, or the slit on the neck. It's sort of the idea of these pieces were expertly cut open and are allowed to sort of live like that. I haven't decided whether I want it to be detachable, whereas these jeans can become shorts. I have rivets around the inner thigh holding that together, but I think it could potentially open itself up to be a 2-in-1 where it snaps off. I even think about the potential of it being entirely a zip that can zip open or closed in some sense. I don't know. We'll have to play around with the ideas in the future. Maybe we can find a way to make that cohesive in whatever jacket or supplementary layer we want to do for this collection. Maybe that design element with the zipper, maybe we'll mesh with the bag in the future. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, I personally really like these designs. I mean, hello, I drew them. I do think that there's a possibility to elaborate on some future iterations of this. We are playing with this open space, so I do feel like maybe some cutouts in that first jean could make it mesh well with the rest of this collection. But I also don't think it's very smart to put this one idea of open space on every piece. I do think some looks at the end of this collection will have this open space concept on all of the pieces, but I think some of these pieces need to be just basic existing pieces with maybe a little bit of something interesting happening, just so we're not shoving this idea in the consumer's face and forcing them to buy into this idea. We can give them solid basics that they can fall in love with and ideally use for a very long time, aside from the very interesting pieces. I do think some of the pieces in a collection need to be basic so they can help neutralize the concept as well as elevate it. I hope that this inspired you to create some jeans. If you do, please comment and subscribe. All in all, I think this has been very successful. I am very, very in love with these jeans, and I'm starting to sort of figure out what the vibe is I want to create with this collection. So take care. I hope this has inspired you. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you on the next one.